Unit 2 Agronomy, previous year questions. Cropping patterns in different agroclimatic zones of the country. Question 1. Describe the basis of classification of agroecological zones of India. Give the important characteristics and cropping patterns of any two zones. Question 2. Enlist the agroclimatic zones of India and give their important cropping patterns. Question 3. What are the climatic parameters affecting crop productivity according to which farmers follow the cropping pattern in the western zone of the country? Question 4. Describe the basis of classification of agroecological zones of India. Question 5. Give the important characteristics of any two zones with their states or regions and major cropping patterns. Question 6. Describe the agricultural regions of India. Question 7. How are the agroclimatic zones determined? Question 8. Microclimate. Question 9. Major cropping patterns in India. Next, Chapter 2. Impact of high yielding and short duration varieties on shifts in cropping patterns. Question 1. Discuss the reasons for food grain surplus. Describe food grain production and consumption trends in India. Question 2. Role of hybrids or high yielding varieties to meet national goal of food security. Question 3. What is the physiological effect of low temperature on seed germination? What are its remedies? Question 4. Discuss the impact of short duration and long duration varieties on deterioration of soil health. Question 5. What is green revolution and its after effects on crop production? How can we make grey areas green to meet the challenges of food requirements for the increasing population of the country? Question 6. Do you think that this was the beginning of revolution in wheat cultivation in India? Discuss in detail. Question 7. The introduction of high yielding and hybrid varieties of crops has brought about a revolution in Indian agriculture. Comment on this. What measures would you suggest to sustain the green revolution in the country? Next, Chapter 3. Concepts of various cropping and farming systems. First question. Define integrated farming system IFS and how can IFS improve the income of different landholding groups? Question 2. Discuss integrated farming system with suitable examples. How can IFS improve livelihoods of small and marginal farmers? Question 3. What is land equivalent ratio LER? Give advantages and disadvantages of LER. Question 4. Rice wheat crop rotation is very common in North Indian agriculture. Discuss and describe the advantages and disadvantages of this crop rotation according to the principles of crop rotation. Question 5. What is diversified system of farming? How it is beneficial to small and marginal farmers in India? Question 6. Choice of crops and cropping systems is governed by length of growing season. Critically comment. Question 7. Differentiate catch crop and trap crop. Question 8. Discuss the importance of diversification and intensification in modern agriculture. Question 9. Discuss the importance and scope for drought-tolerant varieties in crops. Question 10. Explain the concept and benefits of multi-story relay and intercropping. Question 11. What is rain-fed farming? Discuss the technologies for stabilizing agriculture production in rain-fed areas. Question 12. What is multiple cropping? Give its significance in increasing the crop production. Question 13. Discuss how contingent crop planning helps in dryland agriculture. Question 14. Diversification and intensification are important in present-day agriculture. Explain. Question 15. Describe cropping system, intercropping and relay cropping in agriculture with examples. Question 16. Farming system versus mixed farming. Question 17. Describe decay cropping versus trap crop. Differentiate between Question 18. Differentiate between multi-story cropping and relay cropping. Write their importance. Question 19. What is crop diversification? What are the factors affecting it? Question 20. Important characteristics of dryland and rainfed farming. Question 21. Discuss intercropping to meet food production sustainability. Question 22. Describe the basis of crop and management requirement for success of multiple cropping and relay cropping. Question 23. Explain multiple cropping, its significance and constraints experienced by farmers. Question 24. Why is crop diversification more beneficial than traditional monoculture system? Question 25. Differentiate and elaborate intensive agriculture and sustainable agriculture. Question 26. What are the elements of weather affecting crop production? Explain the adjustment of crop system in the aberrant weather conditions. Question 27. Rice wheat crop rotation is very popular in North India. Is this rotation in accordance with principles of crop rotation? Discuss the advantages and disadvantages of crop rotation. Question 28. What is multi-storied cropping? State the principle of multi-storied cropping. Also state the important factors that limit the adoption of multi-storied cropping. Question 29. What are the advantages of integrated farming system? Discuss about resource recycling in different integrated farming system in India. Question 30. Explain crop diversification. Question 31. Short notes on lay farming. Question 32. Explain intercropping. Question 33. Differentiate cropping system and cropping pattern. Question 34. Intensification and diversification of agriculture. Question 35. What are the principles of agriculture region? Give importance of intercropping system. Question 36. In the concept of integrated farming system, describe feasible enterprise diversification for dryland areas with special reference to small land holdings. Question 37. Differentiate cropping scheme and cropping pattern. Question 38. Short notes on tillage. Question 39. Integrated crop management. Question 40. Short notes on cropping and farming system. Question 41. What is sustainable agriculture? Give its limitations and strategies to achieve food security for the 21st century. Question 42. Short notes on sustainable agriculture. Question 43. Short notes on land equivalent ratio. Question 44. Short notes on crop diversification. Question 45. Why is rice wheat cropping sequence considered important among other crop sequences in the country? Describe briefly the limiting factors and remedial measures associated with this crop sequence for their higher production. Question 46. Define intercropping. Give the definition of different systems of intercropping, each with 3 examples. Discuss the effect of component crops on each other. Question 47. Prepare a production plan for a family farm of 0 hectares having 4 fields irrigated by head tube well water in which domesticated needs govern the cropping system. Question 48. Intercropping of sugar beet with sugarcane. Question 49. Short notes on recent methods of line sowing. Question 50. Short notes on summer sown PGNP wheat rotation. Question 51. Short notes on wheat after potato and wheat with potato. Question 52. Short critical notes on multi-story cropping. Question 53. Short critical notes on intercropping and mixed cropping. Question 54. Short critical notes on counter farming. Question 55. Define maximum economical yield. Describe the important inputs and operations in wheat after Turia. Question 56. Short critical notes on farming system approach. Question 57. Cropping system. Question 58. Lay farming versus alley crop. Question 59. Cropping system versus farming pattern. Farming system. Question 60. Mixed cropping versus relay cropping. Question 61. Multiple cropping patterns. Question 62. Discuss the differences between the traditional and modern approaches to tillage. What are the problems of tillage research? Next, chapter 4. Organic and precision farming. Question 1. Describe the precision agriculture and conservation agriculture. Question 2. Define organic farming. Give an account of social, economic and environmental dimensions of organic farming. Question 3. Discuss the economics of organic farming of varied agroecological zones of the country. Question 4. What do you mean by precision farming? Give an account of smart agriculture technologies used in precision farming. Question 5. Describe the role of organic farming for sustainability and profitability. Question 6. Explain the principles of conservation agriculture. Describe the practices and impact of conservation agriculture in Indian scenario. Question 7. What is organic farming? How does it help in sustaining the soil fertility and crop productivity? Question 8. Describe precision farming. Question 9. Describe the importance of organic farming with respect to nutritional value addition. Question 10. What is organic farming? Should a country like India go for organic farming? Discuss the scope and limitations of organic farming in India. Question 11. What is tillage? Why is zero tillage getting more importance at present? Question 12. Define sustainable agriculture. What are the criteria of sustainability in agriculture system? What are the various approaches to achieve sustainability? Question 13. Protected agriculture. Question 14. Short notes on potential of organic farming in northeastern India. Question 15. Short notes on precision in agriculture. Question 16. Short notes on organic farming. Chapter 5. Package of practices for production of important cereals, pulses, oilseeds, fibers, sugar, commercial and fodder crops. A. Cereals. Question 1. Improved agro practices for the production of quality protein maize. Question 2. What is the importance of millets in climate resilient agriculture? Question 3. How to increase the yield of wheat under late sown conditions? Question 4. Describe the comparative packages of practices for direct seeded aerobic rice and SRA. Question 5. Describe the technologies for seeded and transplanted rice production. Question 6. Describe the package and practices with a planting pattern, sowing time and spacing, weeds and nutrient management and productivity of the following crops: chickpea, wheat, lucerne, sunflower. Question 7. Give the recommended package of practices for wheat, maize, PGNP and potato under the following heads: time of sowing or season, spacing pattern, seed rate, nutrient management, weed control. Question 8. Compare direct seeding and transplanting of rice. Question 9. How does untimely rains become hazardous to wheat crop? Discuss prevention methods to save grains from spoilage. Question 9. Do you observe any changes in foliage of paddy plant due to change in environmental conditions? Discuss. Question 10. Describe rice wheat cropping systems, depletion of nutrient and soil health. Question 11. How is cereals production increasing in the country in spite of climate change? Question 12. Describe the management of paddy wheat cropping system having forecast poor rain. Question 13. Short notes on major constraints in rice and rice wheat cropping systems in India. Question 14. Role of rice wheat cropping system with respect to food and nutrition security in future. Question 15. Give in tabular form showing time, seed rate, spacing, fertilizer, irrigation and average yield in India of jowar, sunflower, peas, soybean, mustard, groundnut for higher production. Question 16. Give in tabular form seeding time, seeding rate, spacing, fertilizer and average yield per hectare in India of maize, wheat, cotton, potato, PGNP and groundnut for higher production. Question 17. Discuss the weed maintenance in upland rice and suggest management methods. Question 18. Short critical notes on pudding in rice. Question 19. Short critical notes on role of solar radiation in rice. Question 20. Lodging in cereal. Question 21. There is vast untapped potential for rising rice yields in eastern India. Discuss 9 major measures for increasing productivity of rice in the region. Question 22. On the basis of constraint analysis, what are the measures suggested to maximize yield of rice in eastern India? B. Pulses. Question 1. Discuss the major factor for achievement of self-sufficiency in pulse production in India. Question 2. What are the major causes of low productivity of oilseed and pulse crops in India? Suggest strategies for the increasing production and productivity of oilseed crops in the country. Question 3. What is the present status of the pulse production in India? Narrate the constraints and strategies for increasing the pulse production. Question 4. Give the improved agro techniques for rice and chickpea with respect to time of sowing or season, method of sowing or spacing, seed rate, nutrients and weed control. Question 5. Discuss the major constraints in pulse production in India. Question 6. Constraints of pulse production in India and measures to improve their production and productivity. Question 7. Write a brief note on the importance of pulses for sustainable future. Describe the International Pulse Year with its main objectives and strategies to enhance the production and availability of pulses. Question 8. Describe the package of practices for raising a short duration PGNP. Discuss good agriculture practices and their implications. Question 9. Explain package of practices for production of PGNP. Question 10. Describe the package of practices for production of PGNP. Question 11. Write in tabular form recommended packages of practices for wheat, hybrid maize, groundnut, PGNP, sunflower with respect to variety, sowing time, seed rate, spacing and expected yield per hectare. Question 12. Elaborate the constraints of pulse production in India. Suggest suitable strategies to overcome these constraints. Question 13. Write in tabular form seed rate, sowing time, fertilizer schedule, irrigation management and average yield of barley, cotton, lentil, sugarcane, oat, toria crops for higher production. Question 14. Give at least 2 names each of important pulses and oilseed crops grown in Kharif and Rabi seasons. Discuss the constraints having production of pulses and oilseeds in India. Suggest measures to increase their production. Question 15. Give in tabular form sowing time, seed rate, spacing, fertilizer and irrigation schedules of paddy, wheat, PGNP, mustard, linseed and barsim for their higher productivity. Question 16. Summers on PGNP wheat rotation. Question 17. Differentiate synergistic and legume effect in crops. Question 18. What are the limiting factors of production responsible in pulses and oilseeds crops? Suggest suitable steps needed to enhance their production in the country. Question 19. Instability in pulse production. Question 20. Why is the yield of pulse crops low compared to cereals? Suggest suitable measures to improve pulse production in the country. Write major packages of practices for increasing production in arhar and gram. Question 21. What constitutes improved management technology for increasing chickpea production in deep black soils? Question 22. What are the unique features of the pulse crops which makes them indispensable if not difficult to replace? Discuss the constraints to the production of the pulse crops and suggest ways and means of overcoming them. C. Oilseeds. What is the status of oilseed production and constraints of their production in India? Describe the strategies for attaining self-sufficiency in oilseed production. What are the major techno-economic and political causes of low productivity of oilseeds and pulses crops in India? Discuss the scope of increasing its production. Question 3. What are the constraints for the increasing productivity of groundnut? Detail the steps recommended for the overcoming these constraints and improving productivity. Next, D. Fibers. Short notes. Question 1. Short notes on retting in jute. Question 2. Maintain the important varieties and hybrids in extra long staple cotton and indicate the contribution of each. Next, E. Sugarcane. Question 1. Describe the production technology of sugarcane crop on the following heads: improved varieties, methods of sowing and seed rate, fertilizer and irrigation management, interculture operation, plant protection. Question 2. Describe pattern sugarcane management practices for enhancing cane yield and quality. Question 3. What are the different methods of planting sugarcane? Question 4. Short notes on scope and limitation of cultivation of sorghum and sugarcane. Question 5. Write in tabular form the recommended package of practices by the Sowing time, seed rate, spacing, irrigation and weed control schedule of sugarcane, potato, chickpea, soybean and transplanted rice for higher production. Question 6. Intercropping of sugar beet with sugarcane. Question 7. Short notes on sugarcane rationing. Question 8. Give in tabular form the varieties, spacing and row proportion, fertilizer and irrigation schedules of sugar plus wheat. Question 9. Discuss the 5 major improved management practices for increasing cotton and sugarcane production in the country. Question 10. Rationing in sugarcane. Question 11. COJ 64 and COC. Question 12. Sugar production has to be stepped up by 5 million tons in the next 10 years. Discuss specific measures to followed for achieving the target. F. Commercial. Question 1. Is curing in tobacco beneficial? Describe the various curing processes adopted in tobacco growing regions of India. Question 2. Wheat after potato and with wheat potato. Question 3. Short critical notes on flue curing. G. Fodder crops. Question 1. Differentiate fodder and forage crop. Question 2. Write about the needs and techniques of forage conservation. Thank you.